Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to share something special with you. I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, and more specifically, I'm a chocoholic. I love absolutely everything chocolate, and today's recipe is one of my favorites. I'm going to make the most amazing and decadent chocolate pudding cake, and I'm going to pair that with a lime and vanilla bean whipped cream, and then I'll top it with some almonds, some toasted coconut, and we'll dust it with a little cocoa powder. So if you love chocolate as much as I do, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one. So hang out with me for a bit, and let's put this recipe together. And for this recipe, we'll need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 cups of light brown sugar, 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 2½ cups of coconut water, 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, 1 ounce of toasted almonds, the juice and zest of 1 lime, 2 vanilla beans or 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of toasted coconut, and 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And now what I want to do is start preparing our baking pan. So I'm going to take a 9x9 cake pan, coat it with a little bit of olive oil. You can also use an oil spray if you have some available in your pantry. And then I'm just going to use a pastry brush to spread the oil on the sides, the bottom, really get in all those corners. And then I'll take a piece of plastic wrap and line the entire pan. And this step will make it easier to release the cake after the baking process has been complete. Now I'm going to start making the batter. Over a glass bowl I have a standard strainer, and the strainer is to sift and to aerate our dry ingredients. And then I'll add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour and ½ a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. And then just start lightly tapping the strainer to start sifting the ingredients. And I always like to sift just to catch any small pieces that may be in our flour or any of the dry ingredients to ensure that our batter comes out perfectly smooth. And then to that I'll add 1½ cups of light brown sugar and the 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And then just use a whisk or a spatula and just start mixing all the ingredients until they're fully combined. And now I'll add in 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And I started using a whisk to combine the batter, but quickly switched to a spatula. It worked so much better. Keep mixing until all the ingredients are fully combined and the batter is completely smooth. Then I'll take the batter and transfer it to the baking pan. And a little trick for you is if you use a little bit of oil spray on your spatula, it'll prevent the batter from sticking and making it much easier to spread. And then we just want to take the batter and spread it throughout the pan until it's completely even, and then we are done with this step. Now I'll just move it off to the side while I start preparing the pudding topping. To a bowl I'll add in the remaining 1½ cups of light brown sugar and the other ½ cup of the unsweetened cocoa powder. And then using a spoon or a small whisk, just combine the 2 ingredients together. The topping will be a bit lumpy, but that's exactly what we want for this cake. After fully combined, start spreading the pudding topping on top of the batter in an even layer. Then in a small pot, we want to take the 2½ cups of coconut water and bring that to a boil. At that point, slowly and carefully, pour the coconut water over the top of the cake. I want to bake this cake in a water bath, so I'll place a sheet pan in the oven that I preheated to 350 degrees. I'll then transfer the cake to the oven, and then I have a small pot of boiling water, and we want to pour that into the sheet pan until it's about 3/4 of the way up. We'll bake this cake for about 45 to 50 minutes. And then once it's done, we want to just take it out and let it rest at room temperature for about 2 to 3 hours. Now we'll move on to the lime and vanilla bean whipped cream. I'll start by scraping the seeds from the vanilla bean. Then in a bowl that I had in the freezer for about an hour, I'll add in 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. To that, I'll add in 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar and the vanilla bean seeds that we scraped out from our pods. Using a whisk or a hand blender, start whipping up the heavy cream until stiff peaks form. At that time, you want to take your limes and then using a grater or a microplane, you want to start grating the lime zest and then add in the juice and then whisk again until all the items are fully combined. And finally, we'll take our toasted almonds and give them a quick rough chop. All right guys, we have everything ready for our coconut pudding cake. So let's move into my favorite part, which is the plating. So let's do it. All right, so what I want to do first is we're just going to take a piece of our chocolate pudding cake and just lay it on the plate. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of that vanilla lime cream and just kind of put a little bit around the cake. And you don't have to use the piping bag to put the cream on. You can just get a spoon and throw a little dollop, and it's going to taste exactly the same. And then what I want to do is take a little bit of the cocoa and I just put it in a little strainer and just top that pudding with some of this cocoa and hit some of that cream if you like and get a little bit around the plate. There we go, that looks beautiful. And then some of the final components that we're going to add, the toasted almonds, and just kind of sprinkle some of those around. Again, drop some on the plate. You can put a few on top of the cream. And then lastly, we'll finish this off with a little bit of toasted coconut. Well, and there we have it, guys. Our chocolate coconut pudding cake with that lime vanilla whipped cream, the almonds, and the toasted coconut. You have to try this. It is so good, and this is without a doubt one of my favorites. All right, guys, the last thing left for us to do is try this cake out. So I'm just gonna get some of that chocolate pudding cake, a little bit of that lime vanilla whipped cream, the almonds, the coconut. Wow. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. The two textures of the cake, you got that pudding on the top and then that really moist chocolate cake on the bottom, and that lime vanilla whipped cream really helps to cut into some of the richness of the cake. And of course the almonds and the coconut add a little texture, but also that coconut helps echo the flavor that's in the cake. This is absolutely amazing. You have to give this a shot. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help to support my channel. And also leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts on today's recipe or any future videos and recipes that you'd like to see. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.